Hey yo, what is going on today, guys and girls? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video, man, we are going to be doing the Nissan 1993 Nissan 240SX. This is a subscriber request build from AUKO. I'm going to pronounce your name wrong, bro, so Uko, I'm guessing. From my bad if I did pronounce your name wrong, dude. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll catch you guys after the intro. Alright, so here we are in the upgrade menu, man. So this is a 450 horsepower RB26 powered 240, bro. So let's go ahead and dive straight into the damn build, man. So obviously, hold up, in good fashion here, 450 horsepower, 1174 kg of weight as well, man. So that surprised me right off the bat. This thing's going to be pretty quick compared to some of the other builds that I do build at 450, so just bear that in mind. But like I say, man, 547 newton meters of torque, bro, it's not too bad, man. This thing will definitely keep up with some of the faster drifters that are about at the moment. Like I say, dude, but anyway, let's go ahead and just just dive straight into it, man. Just get straight into it. So bang, as I was saying, in the engine here we have an RB26, which is the 2.6 liter i6 double T engine here, which is the RB26, which is going to give us that 450 horsepower. Our drivetrain swap is obviously going to be stock drivetrain. We don't want to have the all-wheel drivetrain on here. That would just make things 10 times worse. So rear-wheel drive obviously is the stock. You can go ahead, throw the conversion wide body kit on here if you want to, but for me, I won't be doing that just because I like the damn stock look of the 240, man. But that's just me. But anyway, same thing goes for the aero and appearance as well for the body kit. You can have anything you want on here. For me personally, I've just gone for a nice little clean sort of look for this car. Obviously, big old can on the back. Gotta love that, bro. But yeah, no, for this you can have whatever you want. It doesn't really affect on what the car will do and what, all that sort of things. It doesn't really affect anything like that. You're looking at probably about 1 kg of weight for every item, which is pretty much nothing. But yeah, no, that's something for you guys to fiddle about with. You guys can have whatever the hell you want on there. You can have it stock if you want to, but again, it's up to you. Now, moving on to tires and rims. Now, obviously, for the tires, you want to have that stock tire compound, completely stock. We don't want to have all the race tires or horizon tires or, snow tires or the drag tires in this case, because you just don't want any of that, bro. It'll just make the car way too grippy, way too, it just make it go faster, basically. And that's what we're not, we're not trying to do that right now, bro. We're trying to go slow. We're trying to get some nice tandies in. We're trying to get some good drifts, man. But anyway, moving on to the front tire width. We're running 205s on the front tires. Nothing special on there. Same again for the back, 205 millimeter rear tires. They are both completely stock tires on both of those. For the rim style, you guys can run whatever the hell you want. Again, just went with something that I quite like using a lot. These rims for me are probably one of the best looking rims in the game. I do love these rims, but again, that's personal preference. You guys can pick whatever the hell you want for your car, man. Not a problem at all. Front rim size, once again, doesn't really matter. I put some 16s on here, but you can put 18s if you want to. You want to go for the full-on, JDM style car, put the 18s on there. But for me, that looks way too big for me. But anyway, I got the 16s on here, which is my personal preference, bro. But obviously, if you do bump this up, you're looking at, a couple of kg of weight here. Again, nothing too fancy there to get your head worried about. Front track width obviously is maxed out, as well as the rear track width as well. Completely maxed out. Fully max that out, get them tires all the way to the edges, bro, because fitment is life, bro. But anyway, moving on to the drivetrain. Now we have on the clutch, we've got the race clutch installed, we have the race transmission installed, we got the race driveline and the race differential. You guys already know what's up with that. Gotta have all that stuff to tune. Same with the brakes as well. Race brakes on here. We got the drift springs and dampeners. Obviously, we need them because it makes the car feel a hell of a lot better. Race front anti-roll bars. Almost got that wrong there. Race front anti-roll bars for the front, and obviously race rear anti-roll bars as well. get those put in there to give you an extra little bit of tuning if you want to tune those. I usually don't, but it's up to you guys if you want to do that yourselves. Obviously race cage as well, got to throw that a little bit more weight in there. If you do want it to be an absolute drift missile rocket ship, then obviously don't put the cage in there, because as you can see there, it does bump up your kg by quite a lot, man. So for me though, I love putting the cage in, so I've put the cage in pretty much every single one of my cars. Moving on to weight reduction as well, this is another personal preference thing. If that was me and I'm building it right now, as like, you know, future build sort of thing, I might do another 450 build and re-record it, but because it is snowing right now, I won't do that right now, because, you know, everything gets worse in the snow. But yeah, now for me, I would probably go stock weight reduction and leave it at 1390 kg, just so it feels a little bit more weighted. But in this regard, in this build, we have not got that. So we've got the race weight reduction in here, which pumps it down to 1174 kg. Now that, I'm telling you, is very light. It is very, very light. So, like I say, this thing is definitely a rocket ship, but it's all good, man. It'll keep up with those fast drifters. Now, moving on to the all-important engine now. We have, on the intake, we've got a race intake. We have a race fueling system. We've got race ignition. We have a race exhaust. We got the stock cams and valves. Another thing that I'm really surprised about, to be fair. Sport valves as well. Sport engine block. We've got the stock pistons. Stock twin turbo, race intercooler, stock oil and coolant, and a race flywheel. Now this has really surprised me here with the camshaft not being in the car at all, like whatsoever. That has really surprised me. So I probably most definitely will do another 450 build for the 240, because I think this is one of the older builds that I've done. But anyway, the car still does run really well, so ignore me saying like, oh yeah, this is an old build, blah 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 blah. It still runs amazing, so you know, definitely try it out. But without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the tune. All right, so here we are in the tune. Looks like I was trying out a little something new here. So this is probably the reason why it's not as slidey as what it's supposed to be, but if you want to, you can pump these up to 45 psi on both front and rear tires, so that way they slide a lot better. We've got the 20 psi and 25 psi on the rear, for 20 on the front and 25 on the rear, for the extra speed if you guys need it. But no, I usually run a 45 psi in the front and the back, as you guys would know if you have seen my other drift missile or tandem drift builds tutorials that I have on the channel. You would see that I always put 45 psi, but we're trying out something new for this car by the looks of things. But we got the 20 psi in the front and the 25 psi in the back. But yeah, no, that's up to you guys, whatever you want to do with that. But purpose of the video, I guess, go along with the tire pressure, man. Go along 20 for 25. If you want it a bit slidier, then obviously pump it up. No problem at all. But anyway, moving on to the gears now. We have a 3.00 on the final drive. We have a 3.93 on first. We've got 1.94 on second. 1.67 on third. Fourth, we have 1.23. Fifth, we have 1.06. And sixth, we have 0.97. Now, all of these gears, obviously, if you're going to change the tire pressure from the 20 and 25 to 45 psi in both, be sure to change the second gear, because that second gear is going to be dying on you left and right, or actually it's probably not going to die on you. It's probably going to, you know, go up on the RPMs a little bit too much. So just make sure you move that back down, or back up rather, to acceleration, or down if it's smashing on the rev limiter quite a lot. You can move that down and it'll even itself out. You'll hear it in the engine when you start driving and drifting. But anyway, moving on now to alignment, we have -5 degrees of alignment in the front, negative camber, and we have -2.0 in the back. Obviously, again, I was trying to make this car a super speedy car, so this is -2 on the back. You can always try this if you want to as well, but I usually run the stuff at -4.5. As you guys obviously know, I do like to run my cars a little bit slower than everybody else, so that's up to you if you do want to run that -4.5, but in this case, I'm running the -2.0. yeah, nothing really much there. I'm pretty sure I was trying to drift with UCXD because them dudes, they always drift like super quick. So I was probably trying to keep up with them, and I had to make some adjustments of my car and everything like that. So anyway, moving on from that, we are in the toe now. We've got 1.0 degrees of toe towards the out, and in the rear we have negative 0.2 degrees in the rear. Angle caster I run at 6.5. If you want to run that at 7, you can run that at 7. I just prefer mine at 6.5. That's just a personal preference thing. I've always done it. I don't know why I do it, but it just feels great for me. But if you feel that you need to run the full 7 angle on there, be my guest. It's absolutely fine. No problems there at all. Anti-roll bars I don't touch, springs I don't touch, and the dampening I do not touch either. So be sure to move around all of those numbers if you do have a specific way you like to run your anti-roll bars, springs, and dampeners. If you like to run a specific number on all 3 of those, be sure to run it, man. There's no problem at all, man. Obviously, personal preference is everything when it comes to drifting. Now, back onto the tune here. We got the brakes. I got 60% in the front and 70% pressure. Again, man, another personal preference thing. I usually push my trigger, my braking trigger down only half the distance. I don't push it all the way down. So if you are a heavy finger, if you do have a heavy finger and you like to push down on the left trigger all the way, then be sure to lower that down to 25% or 35%, whatever floats your boat. Just be sure to check that out and do as what you like. Moving on to differential, obviously 100% acceleration and deacceleration, always 100% on that. Always gotta lock that damn diff, bro. But anyway, that is enough from the tune. Let's go ahead and go and slide this thing, man. Alright, so here we are at the hill. As you can see there, Horizon Festival is just to our left. We're about to go all the way down the hill on this little drift course we've got going on here. Obviously, I wanted to pick somewhere where there's no snow or anything like that. Unfortunately, like the crates is all full of snow. The Mortimer Gardens is full of snow. Everywhere that's good to drift in this game is obviously full of snow. So without further ado, man, we're gonna go ahead and hit up this damn hill section. Alright, so that is pretty much the 450 horsepower 240 SX here. Obviously the run wasn't too bad, man. It wasn't too bad actually. The car ran pretty well, dude. With obviously the -2 in the back, the 20 psi in the front, 25 psi in the back. The car was actually quite stable. It felt good, so this one is definitely worth a look at if you do want to have something that's a little bit slightly faster than what I usually run. But don't worry, nonetheless, I will try and get another build done as soon as all this snow and stuff is finished. Obviously, trying to build a car in the snow is the worst, because as soon as you get on some tarmac, on some dry land, it is completely wrong and you have to redo all of the settings anyway. So without further ado, man, obviously this car was built way before I had snow and stuff everywhere. So hope you guys enjoy this. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. Also, let me know down in the comments down below if you enjoy the build, if you have built the build, all that good stuff. Let me know so that way I know you guys definitely enjoyed it. But anyway, Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.